At hand is a document which may prove remarkable key to the cipher beginning in the tragedy of Cymbeline. So far as known, it has never been published and is applicable only to the 1623 folio of Shakespearean plays. The cipher is a line and word count involving punctuation, especially the long and short exclamation points and the straight and slanting interrogation points. This code was discovered by William Henry Bierce in 1900, and after it has been thoroughly checked, its exact nature will be made public. No reasonable doubt remains that the Masonic order is this direct outgrowth of secret societies in the Middle Ages, nor can it be denied that Freemasonry is permeated by the symbolism and mysticism of the ancient and medieval world. Sir Francis Bacon knew the true secret of Masonic origin, and there is a reason to suspect that he concealed this knowledge in cipher and cryptogram. Bacon is not to be regarded solely as a man, but rather a focal point between the invisible institution and a world which was never able to distinguish between the messenger and the message which he promulgated. This secret society, having rediscovered the lost wisdom of ages, and fearing that knowledge might be lost again, perpetuated in two ways. One, by an organization, Freemasonry, to the initiates of which it revealed its wisdom in the form of symbols. Heard that before. Two, and by embodying its arcana in the literature of the day by means of cunningly contrived ciphers and enigmas. Evidence points to the existence of a group of wise and illustrious fratres who assume the responsibility of publishing and preserving for future generations the choicest of the secret books of ancients. Together with certain other documents they themselves had prepared, that future members of the fraternity might not only identify these volumes, but also immediately note the significant passages, words, chapters, or sections therein they created in symbolic alphabet of hieroglyphic design. By means of certain key and order, the discerning few were thus enabled to find that wisdom by which a man is raised to an illumined life. The tremendous import of the Baconian mystery is the daily becoming more apparent. Sir Francis Bacon was a link in that great chain of minds that has perpetuated the secret doctrine of antiquity from its beginning. The secret doctrine is concealed in its cryptic writings. The search for its divine wisdom is the only legitimate motive for the effort to decode his cryptograms. Masonic research might discover much of value if it would turn its attention to certain volumes published during the 16th and 17th century, which bear the stamp and the signet of that secret society whose members were first established modern Freemasonry, but themselves remain an intangible group controlling the directing activities of the outer body. The unknown history and lost rituals of Freemasonry may be rediscovered in the symbolism and cryptograms of the Middle Ages. Freemasonry is the bright and glorious son of mysterious and hidden father. It cannot trace its parentage because that origin is obscured by the veil of superphysical and the mystical. The great folio of 1623 is a veritable treasure house of Masonic lore and symbolism, and the time at hand when its great work should be accorded the consideration which it's due. Though Christianity shattered the material organization of the pagan mysteries, it could not destroy the knowledge of supernatural power which the pagans possessed. Therefore, it is known that the mysteries of Greece, Egypt were secretly perpetuated through the early centuries of the Church, and later by being clothed in symbolism of Christianity, were accepted as elements of faith. Sir Francis Bacon was one of those who had been entrusted with the perpetuation and the dissemination of the arcana of the superphysical originally in the possession of the pagan hierophants, and to attain that end either formulated by the fraternity of R.C. or was admitted into the organization already existing under the name and became one of its principal representatives. For some reason not apparent to the uninitiated, there have been continued and consistent effort to prevent the unraveling of Baconian scheme. Whatever the power may be which continually blocks the efforts of the investigator, it is unremitting now, and it was immediately following Bacon's death that those attempting to solve the enigma still feel the weight of its resentment. A misunderstanding world ever persecuted those who understood the secret workings of nature, seeking in every conceivable manner to exterminate the custodians of this divine wisdom. Sir Francis Bacon's political prestige was finally undermined, and Sir Walter Raleigh met a shameful fate because their transcendental knowledge was considered dangerous. The forging of Shakespeare's handwritings, the foisting of fraudulent portraits and death masks upon the gullible public, the fabrication of spurious biographies, the mutilation of books and documents, the destruction of rendering illegible of tablets, the inscriptions containing cryptographic messages, have all compounded the difficulties attendant upon the solution of Bacon-Shakespeare Rosicrucian riddle. The Ireland forgeries deceived experts for years. According to a material available, the Supreme Council of the Fraternity of R.C. was composed of a certain number of individuals who had died what is known as the philosophic death. When that time came for an intimate to enter upon his labors for the order, he conveniently died under somewhat mysterious circumstances. In reality, he changed his name and place of residence, and box of rocks, or a body secured for the purpose was buried in his stead. It is believed that this happened in the case of Sir Francis Bacon, who, like other servants of the mysteries, renounced all personal credit and permitted others to be considered as the authors of the document which he wrote or inspired. The cryptic writings of Sir Francis Bacon constitute one of the most powerful tangible elements of the mysteries of transcendentalism, the symbolic philosophy. Apparently, many years must pass before the uncomprehending world will appreciate the transcending genius of what the mysterious man who wrote the Novum Organum, who sailed his little ship far out into the unexplored sea of learning through the Pillars of Hercules, and whose ideals for new civilization are magnificently expressed in the utopian dream, the New Atlantis, which, by the way, the Founding Fathers looked to when they founded the United States, i.e. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson. Look it up. Was Sir Francis Bacon a second Prometheus? Did his great love for people of the world and his pity for their ignorance cause him to bring divine fire from heaven, conceited with the contents of a printed page? In all probabilities, the key to Baconian riddle was to be found in classical mythology. He who understands the secret of the seven-rayed god will comprehend the method employed by Bacon to accomplish his monumental labor. Aliases were assumed by him in accordance with the attributes and the order of the members of the planetary system. One of the least known but most important keys to the Baconian enigma is the third, or 1637 edition, published Paris, Les Images al Tableau de Plate. I can't pronounce those French words. The title page of this volume, which, as the name of the author, when properly deciphered, indicates, was written by or under the direction of Bacon in his secret society, is one mass of important Masonic or Rosicrucian symbols. On page 486 appears a plate entitled Hercules Pharaoh, spelled with an X, showing a gigantic figure shaking a spear. The ground before him is strewn with curious emblems. In his curious work, Das Bild des Shakesbutters, Die Losung de Shakespeare, Rattels, Alfred Froude attempts to explain the Baconian symbolism in the Philostrates. Bacon, he reveals, as the philosophical Hercules, whom time will establish as the true spear shaker, Shakespeare.